Thank you for tuning in this time on Disrupt and Discuss podcast.
In my mind, I'm like, you said you're teaching your husband, you're teaching your son, right? How to do this. Have you thought about, or do you coach others how to create like their own, become an HOA manager or run a management company, mentor, or have classes where you can teach other people how to do this in their perspective, county, state, or things of that nature? Are you offering a class?
Welcome to Disrupt and Discuss with your hosts, E and Casey. A Boucher Ventures production brought to you by It's Just ETV and My Herba by the Fitness Collective. Now, without any further ado, disrupt and discuss.
Hey, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Disrupt and Discuss. How's everybody doing?
I'm great.
All right, okay. We have another one for the D&D family. You already know we love to bring you game-changing voices. We're doing more than just talking about wellness. We're bringing people that are living in their purpose, their leadership, and their communities. Today's guest is another powerhouse. Please help us welcome Louise Collier. She might just go by Louise today, but she's a certified project management pro, a problem-solving queen, and the founder behind ForMyHOA.com, a digital platform reimaging how HOA board members stay informed, compliant, and empowered. With years of experience building sustainable systems for communities, she's proof that healthy living isn't just about green smoothies and gym time. It's about building healthy, functional environment where people thrive. So pull up a seat. Let's get into her story, her strategies, and what it takes to live well from the boardroom to your backyard. Everybody, please welcome Louise.
Hey, folks.
Hey,
Thank you so much for the warm welcome.
how are you today?
I am doing well. It is super hot where I am, but other than that air conditioner running, I'm doing, thank you.
It's always good when that air conditioner works.
It's better when you got solar.
Right.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know. Yes.
Tell
Run
some of
the
that
air-
video for sure.
You want to run the air conditioner on?
Sure, no problem.
Open a window.
Well, Casey, can you start us off with regards to this topic? We are anxious
I
to get
sure
into
can. I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule because as we're going to get into it, you really don't have time. So the fact that you were able to make time, we're definitely appreciative of that. And I'm just going to jump right into it. Once I got to know you and all the things that you do, I don't even see how you're able to just get through a day without just falling out. And what I mean by that to our listeners is Louise has what we've always talked about, the 9 to 5. He does that. Plus, on top of that, she runs, what is that, 3 HOAs?
Four.
Congratulations. So she's doing 4. So on top of that, we're also talking about a wife, mother, grandmother. How do you find time for yourself?
Sleep.
You've got a lot of things going on. And we're also talking about you work in a high stress job. I don't know all of what you do outside of your HOA, but just having a 9 to 5 and having to deal with that and all that comes with that is stressful in itself. You can insert any job here and you'll have to deal with what goes on with that. I don't think people really know about what it takes to actually run an HOA. How did you even get started in it? Was it something like a hobby? I'm just stepping in as an interim and now you're talking about 4. So I'm really intrigued. I'll just let you take it away.
Thank you, ma'am. So I'll start with how I got into it, and then I'll touch on a couple of the other things that you use.
Okay.
How I got into managing HOAs. When I first moved to Pittsburgh, I had the luck to move into a gated community where there's an HOA.
Okay.
I had no knowledge of HOAs prior to that. I had been born and raised in San Francisco. I came in, they were having a meeting. I went to a meeting. I met a couple of the board members. I had to start making calls to the management company to get my account set up and to get different things that I needed. Volunteered for the board because I wanted to be involved. Got a brand new house. I'm going to be part of this community. So I volunteered for the board and did that for about 10 years. During that time, we had the first management company when I came in. The people were nice, but they were not very responsive. We got so many complaints from neighbors. So after about 10 years, we led the charge to change our management company. So we did that. We got to another management company. I led the crusade on it. I picked the person, I interviewed them, and you could not tell me they were not going to be the bee's knees to the community. But after about 6 or 8 months, we can't find you. You're not doing what you need to be doing. Again, we're hearing all of the complaints from community members. Around 2019, I was like, I can do that. I'm definitely a people person. I love to talk to people. As you said in the beginning, I'm a problem solver. If you tell me what's going on, I'm not just going to
Right,
fix it. We're
right.
going to go to the root and figure out how it developed. So I started looking into the requirements to create my own HOA management company with the support of my husband and help from one of my friends on the board. I started my company, I pitched my company. I quit the boards, no conflict of interest there. I pitched my company to the board. They decided to give me a chance. And since 2019, I have been rolling and growing. By word of mouth only, I do not actively go out. By word of mouth, I was able to pull in additional 3 HOAs.
Can I ask one question to clarify for the people who may not know, what does an HOA stand for?
Homeowners Association. So when you buy your house and you get this paper saying that you are part of this community, you're part of an HOA. There are a set of rules that you need to follow. And with that also comes a cost. Everybody's going to pay. Some HOAs run from $50 to $100. I do have one HOA that's $335 per month. It really depends on where the HOA is and some of the amenities. Like I said, they have a swimming pool. It's a smaller community with only 23 homes. So of course their dues are higher because they need to pay for all that stuff. I have another HOA that's 98 homes and they're 331. And again, that one's a condo, so it's high rise. Your HOAs are to pay for things that go on in your communities. Don't be afraid to get into an HOA. Make sure you get into an HOA that has a good manager, because all the threatening letters and all of the missed phone calls, that is not something that you have to take when you are paying for somebody. So call me. Louise.
Right.
I have a question. If I move into a community that has an HOA, I understand you have to get approval for something on the outside of the house. I was watching something on TikTok, and one guy was talking about changing the flooring in his kitchen. And he went through all the paperwork, but it was surprising to him that he had to get approval to do something on the inside of his house. We're not even talking about moving a load-bearing wall. Why would I have to go to HOA for something inside my house as opposed to not going to you guys?
It truly depends on how you're governing documents, and that's what they call our CC&R. The
Okay.
Code of Covenants and Restrictions. It depends on how those were developed. In one of the HOAs that I manage, again, it's a high-rise condo. You have to have approved anything you want to do for the floors, because when the floors were put in, the material that was used is supposedly rated for noise at a certain level. So if you want to go in and change from your carpeted to your hardwood floors, you have to consider the people under you that are going to hear every step you make. Where the HOA comes in is to make sure that they're supposed to look at your plans and make sure that the materials that you use are rated for the same noise level. In other cases, I have not heard of, like, if in a single family home, if you're changing anything in your home, never heard of them asking for that to be approved, unless, like you stated, you're changing the footprint. Then yes, because when you create an HOA, you might have 4 or 5 different model homes. So when somebody else comes in and they're going to come into this house and be like, it doesn't look like the model home or the other ones, we have to have that on file to say, hey, this change was filed.
Okay. That's
That's all the method to the madness.
Always.
And again, on social media, you only get one side of the story. So I can't say if it's a condo, if it's a single family home, but I just thought it was interesting. And I knew that you were coming onto the show to ask that question because where I live, I don't have that. So there's,
And also you have to take in consideration if it's in a different states have different governing rules, correct?
Absolutely. Every HOA must create and have filed their bylaws and their CC&Rs, which is how the board interacts, how the homeowners interact. So all of that information is filed with the state. I would also offer that it could have been in a historical neighborhood. You never know the truth behind the story. But if it was in an historical neighborhood, then those homes are set the way they are.
oh yeah.
They're grandfathered in.
Exactly. There's all kind of reasons why folks just love to get upset when they understand that there's rules around the HOA, but they are truly there to protect you and your investment. And for a lot of us, that is your investment.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I did. Oh my God. Our last house, we were in a HOA community. Oh my Lord. Some of the people there were a little bit more seasoned. They would walk around and at night, and the next thing we got a notice. Oh, your lawn is a couple of inches high. You need to mow it. Your garbage can was out an extra day. You can't do that. You can't wash your car in your own driveway. And me and my husband was like, so this house where we are now, the house that we bought here, no HOAs.
Yeah.
No
I
HOAs.
totally feel you. It was hard for me when I first moved in. I had never been in the HOA. We came in and I put blackout curtains up. First day, I went to Walmart, got some blackout curtains. 2 days later, I got to know your curtains need to be in It needs to support the aesthetics of the community. I'm like, who the heck are they trying to tell me what?
We got to see inside your house.
I would definitely say that it can be a horrible experience if you have a board that is like super aggressive, but if you have a management company that does not put those checks and balances, because your board is not sending the letters in most cases, they are sending that information to the management company, and the management company is sending out those letters. If I get a letter from a board member in one of my communities, there's no parking on the street for there's guest parking only on the street. So this particular board member knows who owns which cars. A car can be on the street for 30 minutes. He's taking a picture. Hey, Louise, we need to send them a note.
Oh, wow.
I have not sent them a note yet. I tell him that, hey, you need to learn how to give folks some grace. What if they were just running in the house to get something? What if they had to
Right.
drop their kid off? So let's contact people and ask them the question before we issue a fine. You really have to have a strong management company who is not afraid to push back, because that's our job as the HOA manager. My job is to make sure that the rules are enforced the way that they should be, not arbitrarily by some nosy board member who can walk around and measure your grass.
You ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Okay. I like that. So you essentially, if I'm hearing you correctly, you go in and pitch your company and you take over from
Yes.
the actual people in the community who facilitate this. You end up being essentially the property management, but for single family home environments, correct?
Exactly. Most HOAs currently are managed professionally. There is a provision in your CCNRs that says boards can do it, but board members are volunteer. They cannot be paid. So most people just don't want to take that on. It is a lot of work to actually manage the entire community. I pitched them that I'm going to come in, make a difference. I don't even call myself a community manager. I'm the community engagement manager. I want to talk to people. I want to understand what your issues are with the HOA, with the board, with your neighbor, because those are things we can bring together. We want to bridge those gaps. My tagline is turning associations into communities one at a time. And that's
I
a
like
big
that.
thing. I want every association to really be a community. We are here, we are sharing this space, and we should be able to get along, follow the rules, and everyone be happy.
I like this because I did not know this existed. So if this existed, I would have pitched you to come to where we was at before and
Alright.
come take it over. Because oh my goodness, you talked about why you ended up into this. What went into the research into finding out that you could make this into an entrepreneurial business?
Google is my friend.
Oh,
I've been online for years. I have been trying to find my space. I
Mhm.
have started and stopped several businesses. A lot of them were more administrative, where I'm helping people to do things. I was not able to make that grow, or I got bored with it. It wasn't just me saying, well, I want business. I have always had that entrepreneurial spirit where I knew that my 9 to 5 was not going to be what pushed me over and gave me enough joy to be happy with. When I decided to do this, I looked at what they were doing and not doing, and I said, I could do that. So I started researching it. I Googled, went to a governing body over HOA management companies. I went on their website, understood the trainings, the information. So I did that. I took classes. It was like a project management boot camp. I went in, I took those classes, and then I got on and just created the company. I was very lucky because the HOA where I lived was fed up with the management companies we had been dealing with. So I was able to create my website, create a proposal that really spoke from my heart. It definitely spoke to the people, because those larger companies, they don't care. And again, I love to talk to people. So people always say, yo, she always answers the phone. I do, but you're getting on my nerves. No, but I'm always here. I'm always there trying to make it a little bit easier. Nobody wants to give up their money for nothing. So I'm just trying to help out. So
Right.
research, figured out that I could do it, and just went ahead and did it.
I have a quick question. In listening to what you're saying about your job, your daily job, how was your 9 to 5? Did that help you bridge the gap? Meaning, did the skills that you have in that job carry over into what you're doing now, or is it two totally separate things?
Absolutely. So when I started in my 9 to 5 24 years ago, I started as an administrative assistant. So I, again, learned how to talk to people, how to become organized, how to manage a project. I got my PMP in 2011. So I'm a certified project manager. I know about root cause analysis. I know that we have to involve our stakeholders, and in this case, our community members. That 9 to 5 and all of that learning that I took, even on them bad days when I was hating them and want to roof test my computer, it truly helped me build up the skills I needed. Now, I will say that I'm gonna give some of it to my mom and daddy, because I was raised as that person. I can speak to anybody. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody or any place. I had that legacy there of being okay with who I am and being able to assert authority in certain areas. So between my upbringing and that 9 to 5 for those 20 something years absolutely helped me to understand how to set up my business. I have policies in place for different actions that may come. I have accounting policies in place. I hired somebody to help me with accounting, understanding that I don't like a bunch of numbers. So I have somebody that helps me with that. I have another person that does all of the bank reconciliations. When I say I have people, I have hired my best friend who has been in accounting for years, and my niece who has also been in accounting for years. They both have 9 to 5s as well, but they have lent their time and expertise to help me grow this. So I have not done it by myself. I could not do it by myself. Just got to really give it up to the folks that I have around me who have not only supported me when I had the dream, but were here to say, hey, I got you if you need me and I'll help you. Granted, they want to be paid. Like,
Right.
I can't do it alone.
Well, and that's what we had talked about when we were talking the series of entrepreneurship.
Yep.
You need to have a tribe with you. I can't say I've done what I've learned a lot. Yes, I have, but I have not done everything myself.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So then my question would be, how would you define wellness in your day-to-day life? Because how can you be helpful to yourself when you're already helping everyone else in your day-to-day?
A couple different ways. The first one is you got to know who you are. I got to know who I am and know when I'm ready to draw that line. So if I'm getting
Right.
irritated by that 9 to 5 and then I start getting calls from some homeowners who may not be happy with the situation, sometimes I'm just like, okay, no, I'm not going to answer that phone now, or I'm not going to answer that email. I'm going to go downstairs and watch Sisters, or I'm going to go in a room and sit, we're going to have a margarita right quick. So you have to be able to know self. You got to put up some barriers and then find other things that I can do right here in this house that may take me away from my desk for 30 or 40 minutes, but they make me happy. They make me feel better. So I will shut everything down and go watch some TV, shut everything down and maybe take my dog for a walk. So I find small opportunities to
Right.
love on myself, no matter what that is.
I love that. We can't pour from an empty vessel.
No,
And,
Well, yeah, I
right.
agree.
And the fact that you realize that when those times are needed, because a lot of people don't realize when they need to stop, push back, it can wait, and go take you a walk your dog, go have a margarita, go wine, just decompress real quick instead of answering that email or getting on that phone and responding the way you're not supposed to.
right. I could be out of job if I get the board member call me. What you want?
Can do that. Things was rational.
I'm always going to be Louise. Yeah. I gotta put my best foot forward. So yeah,
Yes,
not answering that phone sometimes is a lot better than answering it.
exactly. If nobody can take anything from this conversation, take that.
Absolutely.
Take that.
So the other question because I didn't realize to what degree you have done this kind of stuff. When you come into a new job, not a job, but taking over another HOA, how does that work in terms of the people that are currently in there? They're not doing their job. They don't want to leave. But then here you're coming because they voted you in. How do you make that transition? And better yet, you already know you're going to have that to deal with. But then what about some of the residents? Here's another person coming. Well, what are you going to do? Make me think differently about you. Dance, puppet, dance kind of thing. Really, how do you handle that?
Two ways. First part, when I'm picking up a new community, it's usually I'm in touch with the board member or some person in the community who puts me in touch with the board members. And I have a conversation with them. I pitch myself. I pitch my company. I give them my website. I create a proposal. And I do pride myself on not going with that global approach. There's a million HOA management companies out here. I set myself apart because I am the people person. I am all about the engagement and creating the community. When I go in, I have that conversation with the board. They set their standards. This is what we expect. And I tell them exactly what I expect. If they are being managed by another company, then I contact that company. The board first must send a notification to the outgoing company, giving them at least 30 days notice. If they are still under contract, they give them a 60-day notice and then allow them 30 days to correct any behaviors. If they don't, then they can be terminated. I come in once that has happened. On a couple of my HOAs, I have helped them through that process by writing up the notifications that go to the outgoing companies, just whatever they need me to do. Our board members are not well-versed in some of the contractual language that they need to be covering. So I get into contact with the outgoing management company. Everything that is produced for an HOA or any community is property of that community. The only thing that is mine is the system that I use. So I must be able to download and provide any report, all that information to the new company. So that is what I go in and get. So I need homeowner names and numbers, their contact information, what their current balance is, how long they've been paying, all of that information. I pull all that over, upload it into my system, and then boom, we start that out. I forgot the second part of your question.
No, just how you introduce yourself to the residents. And some, I'm sure, are welcoming, like, oh,
Yes.
good. I'm glad those people left. And now, okay, but what are you gonna do for us? Because we were promised all of this before. And what makes you, and again, I'm just thinking how
Right.
I would think,
Absolutely.
What are you going
Yeah.
to do differently?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is go in and have a community meeting. Even before I'm hired, I want to hear from the community, not just the board members. What are your pain points? What has been happening that you are not happy with? And then I'm going to show you based on my systems. I always take either my laptop or my tablet. I'm showing them my software. You can do this. You can do this on your own. Everything has a record. So if someone is saying that they're submitting a maintenance request and nobody's gotten back to them, I can go through there and see you didn't submit no maintenance request or you did. So I reassure them in knowing that they have power. You have the power to go into the system and to record whatever issue that you want. You can call me. I take text messages from homeowners on my little trusty phone here. So I answer those up until about 7 o'clock in the evening. I let them know. And one of my favorite lines is, I'm a small company and I'm hungry and I am ready to do the work. So all of these big companies, they have 10 and 15 and 20 and 8 more folks to help them out, and you're still not getting it. Get your gun shot, and I will prove to you that I can manage this community and that you will be happy. One community that I took over, the small one, and they have 23 homes. When I first took them over, I sent out the first notification of billing, and one guy replies back. It was like 7:30 on a Saturday. And he was just going all, well, we every time we get a HOA company, they come in here talking this. What you gonna do? I'm sure that when he was just going off, I think I sent out a notice saying I was going on vacation. And he was like, yeah, but I'm sure you ain't gonna be thinking about us. I just replied back to him casually during that weekend. And then that Monday, he replied back to me, hey, Louise, thank you so much. Sometimes when I have a little wine, I get a little mouthy. He admitted it. And because I just kept going back and forth with him, just as sweet as pie, he appreciated that. And today, he has become one of my biggest supporters in that community because I was able to connect on that personal level. I was probably having some wine too. He ain't gonna just keep up with me. I didn't do it with an attitude. Totally understood where he was coming from.
So and I know in the intro, and forgive me for not remembering this, you said the smaller community of 23 homes.
Right.
That's the smallest.
I have one that's 22 homes, one that's 23 homes. The condo that I do is 98 units, and then the other community is actually 253 homes. The biggest one. But it's actually also the easiest one to do, partly because I'm close to it, but they have been in an HOA for so long, they know the routine. They know they need to request a parking pass. They know they have to have a number to get in the gate. So it's so much easier. All I get is a bunch of requests. Hey, Louise, can I get this? Hey, Louise, can I get that? The smaller ones can sometimes be more of a bother because they think that you should spend more time.
They want that white glove service.
Yes. And I'm going to try my best. I can't always give you that white glove. You cannot call me and tell me your rose bush in the front needs to be trimmed when I know it was trimmed last week and you're putting fertilizer and stuff to make it grow quicker. You got to work with us. We got 4 zones around here. So the landscaper is unfortunately not in front of your house today, but I'll make a note for next time. So giving them that white glove service, but letting them know that it's really a plastic glove because you got to back it up a little bit.
You have staff to help with the financial side. Do you have staff with you currently to help with all the stuff that you're dealing with?
I pretty much do all of the day-to-day engagement with homeowners by myself. Fine. So my staff that helps me with the homeowner accounts. So she does take some calls if they're calling for specific things. Like in one of the HOAs, they pay their water bill through a third-party vendor. That third-party vendor bills us. She handles that. She'll receive the billing, put that on the homeowner's bills. And then when they get their bills and have questions, they contact her directly. Or when I'm on vacation or out of the office, they'll go to her directly. So she does help me a lot with that. But most of the day-to-day in the weeds dealing with the homeowners is me. Homeowners and boards is really me. I do get the help when I need it, but I'm still small. Like I said, I'm hungry. I really want to show my brand. And my brand is the exceptional service, the engagement, or the community engagement manager. I want to make sure that everyone around here is on the same page.
I love that.
I'm impressed.
I wanted to ask this because I'm a techie. You spoke to software. So did you create your own software or did you go out and find a software that was compatible that you could integrate into your business and take out to other homeowners associations?
I wish that I was a techie and that I could create it. I have so many ideas around it, but no, I went out and luckily I found that there were several companies that offered software to manage not only HOAs, but individual properties. I tested, demoed maybe 4 or 5. I did end up going with one, not only because it was the cheapest, but it was so easy and user-friendly. And I felt that at the time, it was just me. I hadn't hired other people to help me at that time. So I figured, okay, this is something quick and easy that I can get into. It's easy for the homeowners when I set them up in their homeowner portals. So I chose that one, and it has been working for me ever since. I do constantly get courted by other companies who want that business, but I started here. I'm happy. And like you said, I'm not going to make it myself. I might as well just stick where I am because it's very familiar for me. And I've gotten all the homeowners used to it as well.
What about the role of emotional wellness? How does that play a role in your effective leadership and decision making?
Sometimes I don't know. But again, I got to sit around and I remember who I am, center myself, and then think about where I need to be. Where do I need to spend my time? Is this one of these times where I want to call that homeowner back because the dog is off the leash and running around? Or do I want to call that homeowner back and let them know that the pest company can't get to that wasp nest on the third floor of the building hanging under the eaves? Or do I just want to take a moment to sit back and think about a better way to approach it? My emotional wellness comes from understanding who I what I need to be doing and what the time limits that I have. Sometimes I'll just take a break or start playing a game or something, anything to bring it down a little bit. Because between that 9 to 5 and my business, I am busy and pulled in so many different directions. And sometimes I'll be on here like, oh, I hate this person. It's not that I hate them. I hate what I'm going through at that moment. So I take a step back, dim my lights, maybe turn on some music, or again, watch something on TV that will help me get into a better place, just really get into a better place. I'm lucky to have a husband who truly understands what I am going through. So sometimes I'll just go in there like, oh, I just need a hug and just stand there for a minute. We'll just watch a show together, just really stopping and centering myself and figuring out what I have to do, what people want me to do, and what I'm going to do right now.
And I'm glad you brought that up as far as the husband, because as we were talking before, we're all entrepreneurs. We're all married, been married for years. And the fact that I can speak for myself, where my husband is not stifling me, he's letting me do it- all that I can do. And
Mhm.
I guess that also means that I'm not bothering him. At the same time, when you're starting to build your business, starting to flourish, that dynamic changes. But I'm thankful that my husband is behind me no matter what I do. And I know with you, you've got a 9 to 5 that you have to be there, whether it be physically, mentally, you have to be there and you have all this going. How do you take time to be with him and everything else is closed off? Because there's times you need, if it's no more than just sitting there, and like my husband and I will talk about early morning and we're talking about what we got to do for the day, but that's our time that we do together. Do you guys have something like that to where it's just you and him, but it'd be laughing at what stupid shit the kids did, but your wife, you're not entrepreneur, you are wifey now, or your friends. How about that?
Absolutely. We are definitely friends. I have somebody who acts a lot like me when it comes to certain things. Our thing is TV. We like to watch TV shows. He's a sci-fi nut, mystery, horror. We watch TV shows together all the time. We just finished a series called The Sandman. Really good. So now we're on Twisted Metal. That's the kind of things we do in the evening. It may be 7 or 8 o'clock before I actually sit down for the night and say, okay, last night he was going in the room. He's like, how much longer are you going to be, sweetie? I'm almost done. It was like 7:30. I just needed to send one email. I get really busy around this time of the month because I send out statements, so the monthly statement. I'm printing some, I'm emailing some, I'm creating the newsletters, I'm printing the statements, I'm folding them and putting them in envelopes. He helps me out immensely by doing my envelopes every month. He'll put the postage on. I have to put in the envelope for them to return. He does that, and then he'll put the statements in. So he does help me out a lot. But last night I was just almost done. As soon as I hit that email, I turned off the monitor, walked in the room. I'm like, okay, we finna watch. So
Right.
that is really how we unwind. And
Yeah.
from that point on is our quiet time.
And then he
Just
feels
us
like he's
alone.
included in the sense that he's not getting lost in the shuffle either. He gets his time. And there's sometimes for us during the day, he wants me to sit down and I want to sit down. Hey, what are you doing? He's retired now, but I know he goes to the gym every fucking day. How was your day? What did you do today? But, oh, I went to the gym. But the moment I don't ask, then it's like, well, you don't care about what I did? And I might have forgotten.
Funny. I remember one day I left here. I always get on my husband about this. One day I left here. He was sitting in the living room on his phone playing a game. I had to be gone 4 or 5 hours. When I tell you I walked back in that door and this man was still sitting there playing that game, I almost went off. Oh, I'm out here doing this. And you all up in here playing your game. And you know what he'll say? Candy Crush. Right. He's retired. When you need something, I do it, but I'm retired. That's like he cleans up, he washes, he does most of the stuff around the house because he knows I'm working 2 jobs. What am I gonna say? The kitchen is clean, the floors is clean. I gotta go put away clothes upstairs. but still, don't sit there for five or find balance too. I tell him
Yeah,
that all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah, mine's retired, so if he's not taking a nap, he'll go to the gym. And he had told me
Lord.
at least the first year, "Don't ask me to do shit."
I know that's right.
And I said, "Okay." But then what I found that I've started to do, because he was working graveyard, so he'd be asleep during the days that I'm doing stuff. I started now when I'm on the phone, I'll sometimes have it on speaker so he can hear the conversations that I'm having with vendors and other stuff. Is he gonna be bothered with it? No. But he'll get used to the language, he'll get used to what is being done and what is being said. And in some way he feels connected to what I'm doing. At the same time, he's, "Oh, okay. Yeah, that's someone you want me to introduce you." He goes, "Oh, no." But he still wants to sometimes sit and hear the conversations so he'll feel part of it. Because I go, if something happens to me and you got to talk about something, what are you going to do?
Absolutely. I don't think my husband will ever take over being the
Right.
Neither is mine.
So
Yeah.
he'll help me out with things like if one of the homeowners purchases a new gate remote, he'll go and meet them. Every time he does that, they'll be asking him some of these questions. He'll run off what he thinks and he'll come back and tell me. I'll be like, okay, he was. Listen. Yeah, absolutely. They get it. He gets it. It's not like he wants to do it every day, all day, but he will jump in when he needs to.
Yeah.
I think this is important for people to hear because a lot of times you hear on social media where a lot of men are vilified for being a part of their woman's or their wives' entrepreneurial ventures. And they're, oh, you're taking a back seat. Oh, you're not actually being the man or being the breadwinner. And that's not the case a lot of times. They play a pivotal part as well. My husband plays a pivotal part as well. Is he always gung ho about being a part of this social media stuff? No, but he realizes that it's important to me. And because it's important to me, it's important to him.
Yeah.
Took a second. I'm not going to say he just jumped in. He was like, what are you doing? What is this about? Once he understood it, then now he helped me with my angles, or he'll have, do you need me to take the camera and record you?
Yes.
Do you need me to take a picture of you? He understands now. That definitely helps. My husband's not retired yet, so he's still out there going to work. Would he like to retire? Yes. Would I like to retire him? Absolutely. I would love to retire my husband, but we're not there yet. Still comes in the house, and our decompression is we scroll TikTok together. You watch shows together. He'll be on TikTok watching. He brings me home. Once he gets home, he'll like, hey, I got these TikTok. Let's look at these TikTok. We just have fun laughing about stuff that he's brought back. Everybody plays their role. And I think a lot of times people get caught up in the gender role. It's not always about your gender and what gender does what. It's like, you guys are a team. We're a team. We're a family. We're partners. We go through this life together.
Yeah.
There's sacrifices that are being made on both ends.
On both ends.
There definitely is. I mean, and then my husband feels like, well, look, I know what accountant is going into.
Thank you.
So he goes, yeah, baby, go on and keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
When that marker goes and they swipe or hang up and it's still, thank you, approved.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like ain't loaded for nothing in you.
No, if your bank account does dwindle in a couple of weeks or next week, you got some more money coming in there.
I love it.
Yeah, so it definitely helps to have somebody that's in your corner. It always surprises me, and again, I'm not there, obviously, but when you see some of these actors, or I don't even know what you call them now, but when they were hungry and they had that person who was with them, then they start making a little money and they start making a lot of money. Now you done got a whole new model.
That's all like, girl.
Well,
So yeah, totally.
exactly. I'm gonna blink once for yes and twice for dead. And like I told him, I said, I ain't going nowhere. First of all, that's work. That's another job I'm not trying to do. But seriously, you get up to a certain stature and then you're just going to start coming in contact with other people that you normally wouldn't, but who was with you day one.
That's right.
At the end of the day, yeah, we have a business, but people aren't going to do work with me unless I'm paying them. So I'm paying you to be nice to me, basically, and doing work for me. But when I get through with everything else, I'm going to sit with my glass of wine with my husband, and we're going to either talk about how the day went or what we're going to do tomorrow. I know he's going to the gym, of course, but we're still going to talk about that.
Exactly.
My husband be tearing up these homeowners. Don't knock on my door. He'd be like, hey, you better let them know this ain't no.
So that brings up another question. Now, what is the boundary for them? Because you're the whole HOA for where you live. So now they know where you live.
Right.
Not that the other ones didn't have access to you, but now these residents have complete access to you.
Right.
So they think. So let me tell you, my first name is not Louise. When I first started taking over the HOAs, I decided to use my middle name because I didn't want people to know who I was, whether they got along with me or not. So when I started this company and took over the HOA, I would send out all of these emails under Louise and letters, and all of this was Louise, Louise, Louise. And only because my fellow board members, who are very good friends of mine, don't know how to use the Louise. So one of the first board members that I sent a letter for something that she did, She called me. She wanted to see my business license and everything. And I'm like, sis, I got you. Here you go. I sent it to her, but it was because somebody else who had been at a meeting was like, the new management company is actually the old board member. So she didn't like that. So again, we had to educate them on what was fair.
Mhm.
I quit the board this month. I got hired as the management company this month. There's no conflict. I'm using Louise because I didn't want this right here. I didn't want you judging me or this community and the board because they had a relationship with me first. I wanted to prove to them that I was better than what they had before. Maybe in the time that I've been here, maybe 5, 10 times people have come to my door. It happened quite often when I was a board member. I remember one night, they had homeowners across the street from me fighting over a parking place. 2:00 in the morning, they ringing my doorbell. I don't even, why would you ring my doorbell 2:00 in the morning, especially my husband up there? And maybe 5 people have come, and I had to start telling them. At first, I was like, okay, yeah, this is where I live. You want a parking pass? Okay, I'll give them a parking pass. But in the last year or so, I have truly had to establish those boundaries a little bit more. Don't come to my door on Saturday at 6:00 for show. Or without calling me on any day, because this is my home. I work, yes, but this is my home. And I'm pretty close to some of the residents here. And those are the main ones that were doing it.
Oh, wow.
My sister here, it's 6:00 on a Saturday. So finally I had to tell them, I'm off. You get
So
off.
they were doing it because they felt the closeness they had to you.
Personal access, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other home members were like, oh, you here? You was always cool when you was on the board. So since you're the management company, I'm gonna come to your door now. And so I had to stop that. Don't do it. We put that out in newsletters. Your board, you should not be knocking on their door when something is wrong. You should be contacting the management company, calling or emailing. So we try to put that out. I still have maybe 1 or 2 people that will come to my door. Oh, I don't know. I don't have email. They're calling.
Really?
Yeah. Know that.
Like, you come to my door on a Saturday, you better have a bottle of wine. You better bring a peace offering. Where is the peace offering?
But yeah, so I have to establish the boundary and I have to keep at it and just keep letting people know. No, just because I live here does not mean you have 24/7 access. You need to follow the rules. So one of the things in this community, we have every home has 1 parking pass that could be used for your car or any guest that most people want to park their car on the street, not in their driveways and garages. So they use that pass. When they're having company, they'll call me and say, hey, I need a guest pass. There's rules to this. If Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5, you can request a pass for the next day. Friday after 12, I see you Monday. I get a lot of people that come to my door on Fridays at 5 or 3. No, that's not how it rolls. I'm gonna need you to read this policy. Or even when they send me an email, I'll get that to you Monday. So it's really about setting the boundaries and enforcing them and being like that with everybody. Because as soon as you let one slide,
They talk. They talk.
Yep.
So if somebody's coming by to visit, can they park in front of the person's house if they're coming to visit?
Until midnight when we start towing.
Oh, yeah, I'm just talking about regular, hey, I just want to stop by. When you're talking parking pass,
You don't have a parking pass unless somebody is going to be here after midnight.
oh, okay.
And 10:00 at night is when our security gets here. They start riding around, and then they will tag you if you don't have a tag in your car, starting at about 11:30 to midnight. And then
Oh,
they call it
okay,
tow truck.
okay. Oh. Now, you never had anything with people trying to fix cars in their driveway, have you?
Oh, please. People will think of anything.
Because
They will park
technically,
3 cars in the driveway. They will have it up on the sidewalk. We have a place. Yeah, exactly. And then we fine them for that. We had a couple of homeowners here made. So we have these like red hang tags that say Harbor Lights. They went and had something. Made a parking pass. So we getting all these calls from neighbors like, why they got 5 passes? And we're like, stop lying. Nobody has 5 passes. We go back there one night. They got 5 passes parking 5 cars. So that was interesting.
Oh,
It took
God.
20 minutes to get these cars out of here.
I was going to ask you, what is the most outlandish thing you've experienced from a resident at any of your places?
This was actually recent. A couple of weeks ago at one of my smaller HOAs that is in a very prestigious area,
okay.
there was some ivy growing in the back of all of these homes. The board members in the meeting were like, yeah, the ivy's not supposed to be here. It just holds rodents. Let's get this out of here. I informed the landscapers. They go and do that. Oh my goodness. This one lady called, wanted to cuss me out because she the homeowner. She need to have a say so of what happens on her property. Ma'am, that's not your property. It's common area for 1. 2, the board instructed me to do this. She went to cussing me out, would not let me talk. So finally I said, I'm going to end this conversation because I will not be spoken to like that.
Yes.
And so I hung that up and then I sent an email to the board immediately. This is what happened based on what you guys asked me to do. Where are we moving forward to this? And I expect the board to deal with that. I don't have to be treated like, and I won't be. She'll never get through on my phone again. I think I blocked her. I might unblock her in another month. We'll see. She gonna learn how to act, or she gonna put it in writing so I have proof. But I think that was really one of the most egregious things I had, other than we have certain rules where you can't ride ATVs and things like that.
Okay.
You got these people outside letting their kids ride up and down on ATVs. One of the kids gets hit. They want to sue the HOA. You want to sue me when we told y'all not to do that? Not me, the HOA.
Hey, you might get a separate subpoena on top of the HOA.
That's why you got to know how to write your contracts. No fault, boo. They can't sue me for nothing that happens up in here. Absolutely not, because it is not my fault. Especially if you ain't following the rules. I'd be the wrong one to get in the court and be talking about suing me. People will try to do anything that they can.
Right.
And here I'm just like, come on now, let's not do that. Just doing it in a way that lets them know that I'm on your side. As the management company, I work at the behest of the board, but I am here to support these community members. I don't want people feeling like they're in a HOA and they hate it. And we're not sending you no letters talking about your grass. We take care of the grass. It's really about making the homeowners feel comfortable.
You talk about a lot of the pros, having an HOA, the safety of it, taking on that responsibility and creating that community, that engagement. But in your personal opinion, having been in this for 10 years, I wouldn't say what are the cons, but what do you think there could be improvements to HOA communities or HOA management?
I think that improvement needs to come from the board, because usually the management companies work at the behest of the board. We are taking the rules and the regulations. That is what we are managing. If somebody is hating being in an HOA, I'm going to ask you why. What are the 3 or 4 things that made you hate it? And is that something within my control? Was it that you were not being communicated with? Were you not aware of this issue or this rule? What is it that you really hate about it? And then I say education. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Educating not only the community members, but the board members. Board members need to not be so pushy. Board members need to allow the management companies to do their job. If they send me a notice about somebody who's parked on the street for 30 minutes and expect me to send a notice to that homeowner, I got common sense. I'm not going to do that. That is what's missing from the industry. It's really thinking for yourself a little bit and then being able to push back on the board and say, hey, I don't think that's a good call. I don't think that's a good use. Let's give this some more time and then we'll figure it out. And then for the homeowners, this is the CC&R. This is what it says. If you don't like it, you can either come to one of the meetings and see how many other homeowners don't like it, and you guys can start it. We could force the board to amend some CC&Rs. Or you can come to a hearing with the board. And in a hearing, you come to in front of the board, you lay out what your issue is. They have to hear you. And then we follow up with a letter saying, what we heard, what the outcome will be, and how we're going to move forward. So although once you're in an HOA, you pretty much cannot get out of one unless your HOA misuses all their money or you move. And you don't want your HOA to misuse all the money because that has consequences with your mortgages and other things like that. But it's about learning how to play with it. You learn how to play on the schoolyard. You learn how to play at the park. Learn how to play in your HOA. Most importantly, follow the rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you had to handle some residents, it's just the Hatfields and McCoy kind of thing, where they just could not get along with each other. Instead of working it out, they pull you guys in, which you have nothing to do with, but they're so used to mommy, help me, or somebody else has started hearing about it. So how have you dealt with that?
First thing I do is listen. I listen to them. I want them to know that I'm with you. I hear you. I feel you. I'm a neighbor too. So I understand what you're going through. And then I tell them just that this is not an HOA issue, but then I offer them things. If it's a dog that your neighbors have in their backyard that is constantly biting or digging under your fence, you should videotape it. You knock on your neighbor's door, tell them about that, document what's going on, and then send that to animal control. And then if you need some help, yes, as an HOA, we can send a letter to the homeowner saying, hey, we have received a couple of reports from your neighbor. Just want to let you know that this is going on. It's not a violation. It's not even really a courtesy letter. It's just a, hey, this is happening. You might want to talk to your neighbor. Not too long ago, we had an issue where a shared fence had fallen. The neighbors were talking. The neighbor over here just kept saying, yeah, I'll get it. This neighbor was like, okay, just let me know. I'll get the person. I can get a couple of estimates. Yeah, I'll get it. Until the HOA had to send a letter saying, hey, this fence has been broken for 2 months now. You need to work with your neighbor within the next 7 days or the HOA will fix it and charge you. And that's something most people don't want, because I'm not looking for the cheapest vendor. I'm going to find the first one that's going to fix it. You can look for the cheapest vendor, but if you make me do that, I just might send somebody over there and gonna charge you double. So you need to do it. After they got that letter, they got together, they fixed it, no problem. So even in situations where we have no authority, we can still help. And that's really about that engagement, that relationship building. You have to be able to collaborate with folks in order to get them to move. Nobody wants somebody just coming in saying, do this, do that. And that's not how I roll.
I love that. I have 2 more questions. The first question is, you have a team, right? And you've been in this business for about 10 years. And within that 10 years, you've developed this team that helps you. Some people are your friends, some are family members, but they all have a profession or they know how to do what you instructed them to do, correct?
Yes.
So my question for you is, legacy wise, if you were to retire from this, is there someone you have that could be second in command that could take this over, or would you sell it to someone else?
So my Cassandra, who does my accounting and some of the homeowner things, she's next up, boss. I already told her, you got to give my son a couple of $1,000s a month. You can have all the rest. But no, that's what she does. I'm grooming her to take it over. And not only when I get ready to quit, when I want to go on vacations. Granted, she's my niece. Sometimes we do family vacations and she's with me. But when she's not, when she's here, she's the one. And she really handles all of that well. So yes, she is helping. She is learning it. She has actually helped me to put policies in place. So she's more well-versed in them than I am. She's the one it will all be handed down to, and she can just take off and run. I'm also trying, and she and the other person I have are very close. When I send emails about accounts, I send them to them both because I want to make sure that they're both educated, that they both know what's going on. They do have very different functions, but I make sure that they are connected so they can see, because we don't know what life holds. I could walk out of here and it could happen today, and I want my business to be able to sustain. I'm still teaching folks, like my husband and my son. When I do walkthroughs, I go to the communities, take a walk, and I'm physically looking for any violations. I've taught my husband and my son how to do that. They can do it for me when I can't. Now, granted, he retired and he ain't gonna do it too often. If need to be done, he will. And then for my son, that's how he's going. That's his contribution. When, something happens, that's what he's going to do. That's the part he'll take over. So I'm definitely training them up. Train up a child in the way they should go. No, I'm doing that now.
Absolutely. I love that because we've been talking about, like Casey said, we had a series where we were talking about entrepreneurship, running a business that you created on your own, social influencer, content creator, and how you create a legacy that can outlive you, right? Now, this one is more for the D&D family because I know based on what you've stated here, in my mind, I'm like, you said you're teaching your husband, you're teaching your son, right? How to do this. Have you thought about, or do you coach others how to create like their own, become an HOA manager or run a management company, mentor, or have classes where you can teach other people how to do this in their perspective, county, state, or things of that nature? Are you offering a class?
I am not, but I would love to be able to share this knowledge, to share this wealth, because this is not rocket science. It's about the people connection and putting systems in place. So I have not, but anybody that wants to learn, if they hear us on this, or if you know some people that want to learn, come to me. We can talk about it. I can walk you through what I did and just talk to you about some of the ups and downs of the industry, some of the training that you will need. Absolutely. I'm here for it, for sure.
Y'all hear it, D&D? We got you. So we're going to put her information, especially her website, into the description here. And then if you want to reach out, definitely, because I'm listening to you. I was like, does she have a class? Does she offer training to teach me? Because there's so many other cities, counties, states,
Absolutely.
And
I am even willing to work with folks. So if you don't want to start your own business, but we want to expand somewhere, come on, let me teach you. I'll go get that contract and we can work it like that. So there's a lot of ways that we can work together that everybody can get on the bus. It's nothing about holding it myself.
she's not a gatekeeper. Y'all hearing it first.
That goes to what we talked about last time. Other people that are entrepreneurs, it's not a matter of, oh, I'm going to keep all this information for me. You disseminate it because again, if I had a HOA company and so, like Louise, we're bringing different things to the table. My beauty influencer example, how much blush, eyeshadow, and lipstick can you possibly talk about? All three of us up here on the panel can talk about it, but we're going to bring something different. All three of us are going to bring something different to those three items. So again, if you're with somebody that it's almost like you're pulling information from them, then that's not somebody who you need to be around.
No.
Now, there's some people I won't give any information to because I ain't fucking with you. So it's either, but at the same time, if we're all on the same level in terms of this is what we're trying to do, we're trying to get further along, and I'm not trying to run up your back to get there.
Right.
Oh, I'm just trying to learn. That's a totally, and again, we all got common sense up here when somebody's bullshitting you, period. So
Common sense and ain't afraid to fight. Hey,
I tell people I don't like confrontation. However, I will not back down from it. I prefer to be able to talk, get it over with, be done. But again, I ain't a punk. Just as a
Absolutely.
No, I love that. I love that because it's not gatekeeping. I'm quite sure somebody who's listening, who will be listening to this, is probably thinking the way I'm thinking. Like,
Mhm.
hey, I could probably do that too.
That's all. That was the first thing out of my mouth. I could do that. You
Right,
know?
right.
And,
But you
and
just don't know where to start, where to get the information.
exactly. Just started out, figured out Google is your friend, and it will not only give you that information, it will give you the organizations that you need to contact to get more information. So don't be afraid. Let's just step out. We got to do something because that 9 to 5 ain't always the one that's going to take you over. And I do want to get over. I just don't want to get in, get along.
Exactly.
I just have one last question. Do you plan on expanding even more? I mean, you have a company, but expanding that company to where you're having staff and all this kind of stuff. Because last time we spoke, you only had 3 HOAs. Now you got 4. And it was like, oh, no, I can't take anymore. I'm tired. I can't do this. Now you got 4.
So, you absolutely. And I want to expand in different ways. Being in this industry, I see the industries that touch me. We pay very good money to security companies to get very subpar services. I want to think about
Wow.
starting a security company.
Wow.
Towing. All you need is a tow truck and a plot of land that ain't too far from the place that you're towing from. Because in a HOA, just in my HOA, we have people that park in the red zones. That's an automatic tow, but we can't get the tow truck to come through all the time. When they're parked on the street at night without your parking pass, bam, that's an automatic tow. I can make good money per day towing for HOA. So those are the type of expansions I'm thinking about, as well as picking up more communities and finding more work. I be shooting ideas to people like, hey, you should do this, you should do that. But people just, they ain't ready yet. And everybody got to get to
That part.
they are ready.
That part. They're not ready yet.
And
That's so true because my cousin owned a towing truck company out here in the Perspective area. And yeah, it's a lot of business.
money.
It's a lot of money because a lot of them can't get to, there's room for a lot of people to be in that realm. There's so many different places. Like you said, security, concierge,
Yeah.
for the units. They do it a lot in the high rises in Oakland and San Francisco. They're building these newer, more modern type places to stay. They have the concierge, they have the security. There's so many different avenues that you can take within it.
If your listeners are contractors, I am often contracting out work for all of the HOAs, whether it's fence repair, painting, plumbing, all of that. Call me. I would love to have you on my list. I want to give everybody some business. If you offer a service, holla at me. And if I can use it, I will definitely put you in play. I ain't gatekeeping not the business or the money. I'm trying to share it all.
The law of reciprocity. Plain and
Yes.
simple.
Her information is going to be in the description of this. And if you're in
Absolutely.
the California Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, definitely look her up. It will be in the description. Absolutely. Are we going to play Hella Awkward? Did you have a Hella
Well,
Awkward?
we kind of answered it already.
I'm requesting.
Give us the Hella Awkward question.
Okay. Well, I've done this one before, but again, this is with Louise, so it's
Yeah.
different. Okay, this is an actor question. Which actor should play you in a movie about your life?
Now, y'all gonna laugh at me. I got 2. The first one is Madea. Wanna be Madea sister so bad. He can dress up and play me any day.
Okay. Okay, I wouldn't have thought that.
It's gotta be Queen Latifah.
See, I said Queen Latifah for mine.
See, I didn't say Queen Latifah for mine. I said, and I still hold true, I would love Regina King to play me.
Okay.
The
Yep.
personality wise, obviously we've got a height difference, and she's got a wine out now.
No, I didn't know that.
Me and You.
Me and you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
All
and
right.
I like her a lot, and it came across my IG. It's the name of her son, IAN,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a
like that.
homage to her son.
Now,
Who I'm
like that. I like that.
But
So-
yeah, I like her.
So Regina King, you said
Mhm.
Queen Latifah and Tyler Perry, Madea.
Madea.
And then I said Queen Latifah. And the last time I said this, I'm still holding true. Regina Hall, because we smile alike. We smile
Yeah.
alike. Height differences, bar none. That's why I said Queen Latifah. I think Queen Latifah is a tall glass of water. That's close to my height. She got my stature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got my swagger.
Yeah. See, and then okay, there's a second person. Now, Regina King is definitely the attitude, the personality. I
Mhm.
definitely could see as she's a stalker, she's a weirdo, so maybe not. But the other lady, you looked her up before, E. She was on NCIS, was it?
Yes, I know who
No
you're talking about. New Orleans, NCIS.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Minnie Mouse.
test him out.
So yeah,
I know.
Yeah, we're about the same height, actually. So,
Her name was
and
Shalita Grant.
so yeah, so that, and really, she could probably did personality as well because she's got that feistiness kind of thing too. Kind of quiet.
Yeah. Her and her, she's married. She got married out here, and her wife, they live out here. If I'm not mistaken, they live out here.
Cool. I didn't know, but yeah, I definitely would say,
I definitely see that.
I'm a lot calmer than when I worked 9 to 5. I was always ready, locked and loaded. And the reason why I say that with the personality, when you talk about 9 to 5, you always had to come in ready to defend yourself. Some people say, "Oh no, that's not the case." Oh yes, it was the case.
You come in like me and anointing them desks, Lord. I ain't gonna let them on me to.
Oh. No, I was coming in there, Lord, I wish a motherfucker would. No, that
Thank y'all. Word. I wish you would.
they're like, it's only Tuesday.
Hey, what you used to do? When this fool would leave work, she would take her phone receiver, unplug it from the phone, and put it in her drawer because she didn't want nobody touching.
You did not.
No, wait, there's a reason why though. My phone was right across from the fax machine. The minute somebody would send a fax, they felt it necessary to call and make sure they got it. So yeah, they would just sit there and be on my phone.
I wouldn't want you on myself. I don't know where your mouth been, sir,
And then I remember one time there was one physician that passed by my desk because again, like the people I've so talked to before knew that I was in healthcare. One physician walked past my desk and then walked back, not knowing it was my cubicle. Now, mind you, I got my nameplate up here, and she's looking at some of the stuff on my desk, and I'm right behind her. I said, "Well, can I help you?" "Oh, I didn't know this was your desk." "Yeah, you're doing that. I'm taking my phone and the receiver every day."
You ever feel like the receiver put it in your desk? I can definitely see that of you. Yeah. Well, yeah. This was a good one. I love it. Casey, do you have anything else you want to add?
I do, but I don't. I really enjoyed like I told you before, Louise, we just conversate. We just have this big conversation and it's really laid back. And again, I know you have like 40,000 jobs and I'm very happy that you took time out of your busy schedule to just come and hang out and vibe with us. So again, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I truly enjoyed myself. I do got to meet at 3:30, but I appreciate enjoyed it. And I would love to come back if we want to do some type of follow-up.
Yes.
Talk about those other businesses that we need to start. I need some people out there to jump in on these ideas. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Ever you like.
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you guys so much. D&D family, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation. You've enjoyed Louise and what she had to bring to the table, what she had to offer with regards to HOAs, homeowner associations, the mental health of it all, the community of it all, the engagement of it all, and also the other opportunities that can stem from that. Legacy, building, scaling. She brought it all today. So her information, like I stated, is going to be in the description. Please take advantage of it, especially if you want to hear more, if you want to connect with her. That information will be there. I just wanted to give a special thank you to Louise because truly you brought some ideas that I wasn't even thinking about with regards to this. So thank you so much for coming and blessing us on the panel today. I wanted to give a shout out to all the subscribers and all the DMD family that's been rocking with us and going through all these wellness series. A special thank you to our international folks. I was amazed when I looked at who's been rocking with us. Shout out to the United States. You hold it down for us. But we got Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, Germany, India, United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Brazil, and Nigeria. Thank you guys so much for logging on to our podcast and downloading. We truly appreciate you guys for rocking with us. We're going to head up out of here. Hit us up on all our social media. Subscribe to us. Why are you not subscribed? We're bringing quality content to you people, as you can see. So until the next one, you guys, what do we always like to say? Bye.
Tiki Barber here. I remember those grueling practices, pushing through fatigue and striving for greatness. Well, that's the same dedication My Herba puts into their supplements. They understand the body's needs. My Herba takes a holistic approach to wellness. Whether it's their sea moss, immune defense, or even sleepy time, they have an option for you. Let My Herba make the best you with code BARBER10 for 10% off at thefitnesscollectif.com.